Good afternoon. Welcome to the Northern Ireland press conference for the Northern Ireland-Netherlands game tomorrow evening in Belfast. Could I ask everyone to put their phones on airplane mode, please? So, I have the Northern Ireland captain Stephen Davis and the Northern Ireland manager Michael O'Neill. Take questions, please.
Michael, disruption today, has it affected your plans in any shape or form for tomorrow?
No, not really. It was just a case of training a bit later than we anticipated training, to be honest. But normally, if we were an away team, we would be training later in the day anyway. So it was just a bit of an inconvenience. But we got the work done on the pitch, obviously, that we intended to do this morning, just at a later stage of the day. And we'll have a final session tomorrow morning. But the boys are in good shape.
Anyone else?
I'll go again.
Please go again. Oh, sorry.
Go anyway with the start or goodbye or any of that kind of stuff.
Well, I hope not really, because that would mean that I wouldn't be taking the team on Monday, so or Sunday, Tuesday rather. So no, it doesn't feel like that at all. It just feels, for me, I don't think the week has been, maybe Stephen will verify this, that the week has been no different from any other week when we've been away. It genuinely hasn't. We've got the work done. The players have been very focused, more focused I think than maybe in the past, hoping that possibly as a club manager that I might sign them, so I think they've been extra attentive, some of them. As I said, this is the start of an incredibly difficult double header, which, whilst we have an outside chance of qualification, we'll do everything possible to try and take it to the final game. And if the case is such that we don't qualify through that route, then we have, hopefully, as I say, a playoff to look forward to in March. So no, it's not been any different from any other week.
So just to clarify, Michael, you'll be taking the team in the playoffs if Northern Ireland are in the playoffs?
That is the plan at the minute, Stephen.
And after that?
That is the plan at the minute, Stephen.
Thanks, gentlemen.
Are you saying you may or may not be...
I said that's. I think I answered the question, did I not? Sure I did. Yeah, that's the plan at the minute, yeah.
Okay, that's gentlemen.
So does it feel like being dancing on two parties, being a club manager and national team manager?
Not really, because I was only a club manager for one day. So I've only been there one day, which was Friday, one day's training, and Saturday, one day's game. So I haven't really had that much time to be a club manager, so I'm still very much an international manager, while obviously I'm very much keeping abreast of things at the club, but equally at the club it's an international window, an international break, so typically clubs function in very similar ways during that period, and obviously we have, I think, 12 to 13 players away on international duty in this period.
Mike, you're just starting that role though, and there's obviously an enormous amount to do with any manager going into the club. Is there no part of you that worries about distraction over the coming days?
No, genuinely not. No, I think we've got good staff. The players will be trained. You can't work on anything tactically. We had one 45-minute session before we trained at Barnsley, and that was enough to make an impact on the team. Next week we'll have 3 days of work before we go in. Typically, we come into international football and we have 3 days to prepare a team. So preparing a team for the next league game won't faze me with 3 days preparation going into it. I'm used to doing that. I'm used to having to turn a team around, between games as well. So I genuinely don't think, and I think Stephen will say himself, like teams, you don't typically do 5 days tactical preparation for a game. Three is more, I think, receptive to the players, so that the work that the players have been doing, which has been set by me while I've been away, has been handled. We've had it videoed, we've watched it, so we're pleased with everything that's gone on there, but the focus has ultimately been here, and obviously the club knew that as well.
Exactly the same, Steve?
Yeah, it hasn't affected our preparations in the slightest. Obviously, other than people maybe unaware of the situation exactly when Michael taking the job, but since we come in, we're focusing totally on preparing for the game tomorrow night.
What did you think, Steve, when Michael got the Stoke job?
Yeah, obviously, from a selfish point of view, we were disappointed. But as Michael said, obviously the plan is going forward at this point in time that he's going to take the team through to the end of this campaign, whether that be playoffs or whatever. So we just have to. We've got a great opportunity, whether that be through the 2 games that are remaining or potential playoff, which is looking quite good. We've got to just give ourselves the best possible chance to reach another major stage.
Would the ideal scenario be for you and the rest of the players that Michael takes the team in the Euro 2020 finals?
Of course, yeah.
Newman was very critical of your style of play again in Rotterdam. Can players and yourself use that as motivation going into this game?
Well, we don't need to. It depends. Critical of our style of play. Yeah, we admit it after the game. We could have been better in terms of at times better in the ball. We looked at the last 10 games that Holland played, and the ball and play between us and Holland was 57, just over 57 minutes, which ranks 5th in the last 10 games that Holland have played. So obviously other teams have been wasting more time than we wasted, and possibly Holland have wasted a bit of time themselves. So in terms of the ball being in play, there was no difference from any of the other games. It wasn't dramatically different. So I think we managed the game well, which upset the Dutch. I think they got frustrated. I think obviously when you have an embarrassment of riches and players that play for the clubs that you have, and then suddenly you're down 1-0 down to a nation like Northern Ireland, it leads to frustration. So no, we were very disappointed not to hold on so that we could be playing here for a victory to go to Euro 2020. But we don't need any more motivation than we had obviously going into the game in Rotterdam, and the players really were neither upset by such remarks at all, to be honest.
But they don't need reminding that they're well aware.
No, they don't need that. Don't need that.
Did you take those comments as like a backhanded compliment?
Yeah, I think so. I think we'd probably be more concerned if obviously I'd said it was a great game, because ultimately that would have meant that they dominated it and won comfortably. So yeah, I don't mind those comments. Listen, we've got to just try and play how we feel is best to get ourselves a result, and we had a lot of positives to take from the night, especially off the ball, and the challenge is for us now to try and impose ourselves a little bit more on the game tomorrow night with the ball.
Michael, it could be your last match at Windsor Park as Northern Ireland manager tomorrow. How are you feeling about that?
Haven't thought about it, to be honest. I'm not one for big emotions, so it won't be something I give a lot of thought to. I'll just try and prepare the team as well as we have done. I'm pleased with the team. I certainly believe the team is ready to play. I haven't watched them this week, and the main thing is to try and get a result. That's the biggest thing. Just try and get a result and try and take it to the last game.
You understand you're not trying to personalise this at all, but the reality is you've got this Stoke chance to demonstrate what you've done in Northern Ireland. Do you understand people here have been a bit sad, wouldn't they, because of this journey?
Well, possibly, yeah. I mean, maybe I'm young enough that in the future I'll be able to come back, possibly. But the thing for me is that we have taken, I think, and I say we because the players are in a very, very integral part of that. We've obviously gone to a major championship. We've missed out in the World Cup very unfairly, and we're in the running to try and qualify again for a major championship. So that's been done with a brilliant application from the players. Stephen sitting next to me, I think it is 116 tomorrow night, which is testament to his dedication. Johnny and the number of players in our, Johnny's on 80 plus caps, and the number of players in our squad who are high in international appearances is testament to the fact that they're here all the time, and that's very, very important. And it's been great in the last 3 campaigns that we've always had something to play for, and so I'm very grateful for the opportunity the IFA gave me. When I took the job, I didn't anticipate I'd be in it for 8 years, and to be here now and still to have seen the team develop, to see the younger players come into the team, and also seeing a lot of the work that's been put in place in the IFA to give the players here in Northern Ireland in particular a better pathway and a better chance to be players is equally as rewarding as obviously the big nights and the big games that we've had in those 8 years.
This gentleman here, yes.
After the game in Rotterdam,
Dutch coach and the players said you did a very good job in playing the way you played against Frankie de Jong. Was he a difficult study object?
No, he's not difficult to study because he's a lovely player to watch. It's a joy to watch him play. So it was interesting to see, I suppose, a player of that age play with, first of all, such composure and such responsibility, I think, as well. And ultimately, when we watched the game back yesterday, it was ultimately de Jong that lifted the Dutch, and after we scored, I felt in the final 15 minutes he was the most influential player they had. And for a player of his age to take that level of responsibility is phenomenal. I think that in the next 12 to 18 months we'll be talking about him as the best midfield player in the world. And he again, but I thought we did play him very well because we played it in the early part of the game. He played predominantly in his own half. We kept him deep. And we'll try and do that again tomorrow night. But as we got deeper, and obviously the Netherlands pushed more men forward, he tended to have more options, more passing options forward, and he just proved to be, I suppose, his quality came out in the end. But I felt had we managed to keep him quieter in the final 15 minutes, the result of the game possibly could have been different.
Tomorrow, as Michael said, you'll make your 116th appearance. I know for you it's always about the game, but you'll become the UK's most capped midfielder. You beat Beckham. How do you feel about all that?
Yes, listen, I still get great pride every time I pull on the jersey and get a chance to represent my country. So I've thoroughly enjoyed my journey the whole way through, and as always, like, the focus is on the game, and hopefully there's a few more to come yet.
Yeah, that's what we have to try and get to that level. First half here against Germany, I thought we were phenomenal. We should have been ahead, possibly 2 ahead. And it was interesting, so many people have said to me, oh, you played so well against Germany in the first half. But you can't really play well against Germany for 90 minutes. There is going to be a period in the game where they're going to come to the fore. And, the biggest thing in that game, which was, I think, impressive about us, was when we went 1-0 behind, we kept ourselves in the game, and we managed then to create chances to possibly get level again. So that showed great character within the team against a very, very strong German team. I think on the night they had 10 of their 11 starters as Champions League players. So, yeah, we aim to play in the same fashion. We aim to play on the front foot, and we aim to make it as uncomfortable for the Dutch as possible. They've got fantastic players, but we have to ignore their reputations and make the game with that intensity that we played with against the Germans. And I think it shows that even the top players in this kind of atmosphere can be tested, and that's what we hope tomorrow night.
Final 2 questions, please.
You've spoken before about how important it is to take chances when you get them. Do you think the 2 games last month showed that? Limited chances against the Dutch, but took the chance, and then obviously the first half.
Well, I think we were playing here against... in our group, we essentially have 2 pot 1 teams in our group. I look at England's group and think, God, could we not go into that group? But you look at, and so we're playing against 2 teams that will, when the finals do come around, and both teams will be there one way or another. Let's be honest, that we'll have anticipation that they go to the tournament, and if it's not last 4, it's a disappointment. But I think against those teams, we have to realise that we're not going to get loads of chances. We won't create half a dozen chances against Germany or Holland. But the key thing is when you create a chance, you take it. And possibly looking back at the game, we had a great chance at 1-0 to go 2-0 up in Rotterdam. We possibly could have gone too ahead if Josh just could have got up on Stuart Dallas's cross after Stephen pinched the ball in midfield. So, but those are the opportunities. We worked a little bit on that today. Say, look, we have to maximise those opportunities in the game because they won't come round, and we obviously have to minimise the opportunities for the opposition, which is what we did extremely well in Rotterdam, particularly in the first half. You know, Bailey had a reasonably quiet night for long periods, and it was only in the last sort of 15-20 minutes that we come under serious pressure, and so we have to try and, as I say, both sides of that equation we have to get right tomorrow night.
Dave, was there even extra incentive for the boys given this is Michael's last campaign for qualifiers?
To be honest, I don't think you needed any bigger incentive. Obviously, a number of people in the dressing room have already had the experience of going to France, and it's left us wanting more. But of course, we've all thoroughly enjoyed our time under Michael. He's taken us on leaps and bounds, and he's created a belief that we can actually get to these tournaments, and compete against the bigger nations as well, consistently. So, listen, it would be great. I think Michael spoke about that already and said we've probably been missing that one really big scalp in his time. So hopefully tomorrow night's going to be the night.
Right, that was the final question, folks.
Thank you
very much. 1-on-1s out in the mix zone, please.